Yeah. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We got an awesome show planned for the night tonight. I told you guys we're going to revamp some stuff for Change Your Lives, but we're going to ask a question that sparked a lot of conversation, especially on my Instagram and my TikTok channel. I'm asking, do you leave your home to your kids or your new spouse? Again, do you leave your home to your kids and your new spouse? And we're going to have a conversation about it. I'm going to let you guys know some of the responses that I had, and then also some of the questions that I have in response to some of the things that people told me in regards to that, okay? But before we get started again, I am Deonte Burden. This is Changing Lives. Before we get started, I'm going to say what's up to my house producer, DJ Lab.
That's right. It is Thursday.
Absolutely.
Time to change some lives.
Best day of the week. Right. Get a talk before that damn storm come up in.
Right.
Wash everybody away.
That's right.
You know, if you ain't got your art, you SOL. Also, what's up to mother producer, Slick316. What's up, Reek?
That's right.
Hey, man, listen, man. This been a pretty cool week. I've had a couple of funky days dealing with family members the past couple of days, but we ain't gonna talk. Well, that'll be for a whole nother show.
Yeah, we gonna make that for another time.
Man. Niggas and flies I despise. More around niggas, the more I love flies.
Right.
Shout out to Dolomite. Damn niggas, boy. God. Oh.
Say niggas and flies.
Oh, shit.
You ain't quoting the late great Dolomite, is you?
Absolutely.
The late great Dolomite on here.
Said everything but mother. Again, guys, the question we asked tonight. Do you leave your home to your kids or your new spouse? Okay? Just rehashing the previous week, guys. Had an awesome week. Shout out to my boy Will B. He had his music recital at school tonight. They're playing their sleep. Yeah. All week long, that's all I do here. When I go to the shit, all my kids. That's all you hear. Damn!
Will be getting it right. Huh?
How the hell back he mess up Mary had a little lamb.
He getting it right.
You like that, Dad? Yeah. Still ass.
You supposed to tell that boy, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Man, I'm about to break that damn flute. Shit, that's all right.
He wasn't playing the flute, was he?
Yeah, little wind flute. You know, they give him they first started a band in middle school.
Uh-huh.
Man, that bullshit out here. And that shit, I'm going crazy now. What the? You like that? That's great, Dad. See? I got it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, you got it, son. Don't play that shit no more. But tonight, again, we're asking the question is, do you leave your home to your kids or your spouse? You know, again, this is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. You know, Change Your Lives, we talk about motivation, family, dating, relationships, career, and all other kind of great information. We got over 400 videos on the YouTube channel, but right now we're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the YouTube channel. Again, the YouTube channel is the main hub, so you can go to Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden, or you can put in my name, Deonte Burden, on the search in YouTube. Again, that's Deonte Burden, and you should see the blue man come up. And from that point, please, just subscribe to the channel. But again, guys, we're having this conversation. We're talking about, do you leave your home to your spouse or your new, to your kids or your new spouse? And see, you know what's funny, Leo? It ain't funny, though. We'll start this whole conversation. And I was talking to a female friend of mine. And we were just having conversations. And, she brought up, like, because, me, I be on that, I don't went through a divorce. I'm on that life partner.
Right.
It worked for Oprah. It can work for me.
You Oprah and Stebbins?
Yeah,
been life partner for 400 years now.
And they seem great.
Right.
Yeah.
He live in that big pool house.
Man, come on. He all Harpo everything, Harpo for life.
Don't have to work.
Yeah.
Living a good life.
But he pretty. I think I think he's an attorney or something like that. I think my brother pretty successful, but he ain't Oprah. But they cool. They cool. So I hear a lot of people with different views, especially with saying, I want to get married. I want to get married. Even people that have not been, especially people that have not been married. And I don't knock that. But what I do feel like when a lot of times people, especially if you have not been married, they don't understand the not the love part, but the actual legal part of marriage. Mm-hmm. How everything changes and stuff like that. Because one thing say I'm with you, and we can we can co-have all that stuff. But at the end of the day, once the legalities of now this is yours, and I was trying to do this for my kids, but now I was planning to do that. Kind of like the 18, I have further back than that. When a woman married a man, all of a sudden everything she owned became his property from that point. Right. And so the same thing, kind of like when you look at it now, like it's not necessarily the other person takes ownership of your property, but what y'all do somewhat share property. Right. Especially in the event something happened to you.
Co-mingle.
Exactly. So now you're talking about you may have had a vision or ideas for your heirs or your future with certain, but now because you entered into this marriage. Now things have to change, right? And a lot of times people talk that I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. Now again, let's get this quick disclaimer. If you or your boo thing ain't got a damn thing, it don't matter.
if y'all both broke, there's not.
I'm just saying, y'all just sitting there making love with that mattress on the floor every night. Right. You know what I'm saying? I
might need to go and get married.
Ain't it amazing the people that had the least, going into the relationship, they just so fluent on all the things they would or wouldn't do. Right. I'm going to have this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to have, all right, now. Y'all still going to be that mattress on the floor in the living room.
Had the worst relationships have the most relationship advice.
I'm talking about
been married 7 times, can't keep a mate, but they got all the advice.
Yeah, man, but hell, even the ones that they, like I say, just wait, man. I know, shout out, man. I mean, y'all been in that young lady's house and they got the usually the little futon sofa, the big screen TV, and they got the bed. Right. I guess you done went and
the blow up mattress in the corner.
Man, and probably one of them neon globe lights and stuff like that. I guess that's supposed to be seductive. I guess that's some 12-year-old shit.
Hey, what the best she can.
Hey, no, this is erotica. But again, man, all stuff aside, people have these viewpoints about how they want things to be, but I understand the whole process of that. Again, and if anybody understands, have been in situations like that regarding like probate and everything. My homegirl Noelle told me, leave it to me. You funny. Yes, you sure will. You'll get everything. But real talk is that people have these ideas of what they want to do, but don't really, like I said, they don't understand the legality side of it. And so what happens is a lot of times people enter in those actual situations, being marriage, and not that they forget, they want things to stay a certain way for their kids, but they not understand the other side of it. Okay. Think about this, Lab. It's a good stick, man, but it's damn falling apart. I got this down in this one of the ones I got down in Myrtle Beach.
It's burning.
It's burning good.
Yeah.
But it's damn falling apart. But have y'all got? I'm forget a scenario to y'all. How many of y'all done went to your uncle's funeral? You sitting down at the funeral, and what we do at the funeral, we listen to the folks singing and whatever, and we pull out that obituary, and we start reading it. Right. And then we think about, the first wife, the kids, and all that. And then what's the last thing you had? You can talk about the parents, the first wife, the kids, and who's last? A special friend. That woman who he been with for 30 years.
She can't get a name in the obituary.
A special friend.
A special friend.
You Nella. You Nella.
Oh, wow.
You Nella.
You Nella.
That's a special friend. And the problem come up is what? Unc then divorced the first wife. The second wife. We're gonna give him 2 uncles to play. Okay. Hey, but he been with you Nella, damn 20 years. Right. They got the whole little trailer. They living it up, doing it out. They had family barbecues and everything. But what done happen now? Unella got to go.
You never need to know the state laws in
Unella got to go.
state. It's not a common law thing in their state. They not recognized all over now.
So we know what happens all the time. We what? The special friend.
Right.
And I get it.
Right.
I get it. And we're going to talk about those situations later. Because that was the thing that brought her to me. I'm with somebody all this time, and they can't do this, and they can't leave me, this, that, and that. And I'm just, in my mind, and I'm just saying in my life partner journey, hell, at the end of the day, if a person is not married to you and they don't leave you nothing, it's not because you didn't marry them, it's because they didn't want to leave you nothing.
That's simple as that.
I mean, let's keep it real.
Yeah.
You know, gay people been with each other for years. They couldn't get damn married. They had no problem leaving shit to people.
Right.
It's called a damn will. It's called a beneficiary. He didn't leave you nothing because he didn't want to leave you nothing.
Right.
Huh?
Unella wasn't Unella like she was supposed to.
Exactly.
Slick say if either of you have anything and by chance y'all get some money, they will hate you for getting the money, but they'll stay because of the money.
Hey man, shit. I don't know if I leave either here. I don't know if I leave either.
Right.
Hey man, shit. I could be a Stepman. Be like, Oprah, your boyfriend coming over tonight? I can leave. I can just go make sure me and the boy be at the game.
Right,
I'll leave and get back.
Like keep swiping that card.
Yeah. There you go. You didn't fill up my allowance account, right?
Right. We're in that lottery.
I mean, but that's nothing uncommon. Like what Slick said, man. Hell, I was in a situation like that. I'm pretty sure my ex-wife feel the same damn way. Both of us in that damn miserable. Nobody want to get the hell on.
Right.
And for whatever reason, you're nervous, scared, mad, happy, whatever.
Right.
But that's nothing uncommon for people to be in. One part of it is comfortable. Mm-hmm. Other part is miserable. I'm just saying, but you don't necessarily, for whatever reason, want to leave the comfort. The comforts of the situation probably outweigh your fear or misery with being in the situation. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Or more of stability, and you might not even have a bunch of money, but they know that you're gonna work and do what you got to do to get the money, make sure the bills is paid.
Yeah, that's what I mean by comfort.
Now they'll stay with you for that. They'll stay with you because they might like or love somebody else, but they not gonna stand on it with him. They gonna stay with you because they know you consistent about things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I mean, well, that's kind of what I meant, like in terms of people just staying in that situation, because as opposed to the opposite, like shit, we here. I know she do this, she do that, but we cool, this, that, and that, but I don't really want to, everything straight. I got to go out here and start this over. And again, your maybe feel or not interested in starting over, going into other stuff, it may be bigger. Mm-hmm. May not be as big. He's like, I'm cool. Mm-hmm. So that those kind of things happen all the time. But we start talking about, you may be in a situation where, look, me and my kids, I'm building this legacy, and then you run across this person. And this is the thing about it, you and this person, y'all happy. Mm-hmm. Y'all together or whatever, you got your Unella or whatever. But hell, y'all done got married and stuff. And, even with, just say you got your Unella, those things, people can be, death is something I don't think people like discussing probably till it's intimate.
Right.
You get older or you get sick.
Right.
And having them kind of discussions. But I think people a lot of times, when I posted the thing on Instagram and TikTok, there was a resounding, especially for females, my kids, right? And it prompted me to reach out to different people that I know, male and female. Man, what would you do? And I don't say the same thing. Mm-hmm. But then I would always hit with the counter question. So what is the significant other supposed to do?
Right.
Because you have some people saying, look, the kids grown, shit, they all right. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have this, whatever, and everything. Some people saying both, which I think is unrealistic. Mm-hmm. Because we all know that we've seen plenty of times when parents die and they leave a property or certain things to 5 or 6 damn people. Shit, you don't start the damn Civil War.
Man, 2 of them want to keep for the family.
And one of them don't even want to move out.
Right.
That's the baby boy, he's still in there. He's 60 years old. With his girlfriend and her kids.
Right.
Why I gotta move?
Right. That happens all the time.
Exactly. Right. And so especially if you have a family that's close, Why put them in them situations?
Mm-hmm.
You know. But again, that's not. I don't fault any parent for doing that because people just have foresight and they just want to do for their family and things like that. So I get it and I understand that aspect of it. But you know, when I was getting these responses, and when people say I'm leaving to my kids, like I said, it was mostly females. When I hit the question, so what is the other person supposed to do? I never got an answer back. I never got an answer back. And I think here's the deal. A lot of times, when we're doing things by ourselves, when we say we want to be in a relationship and we want to be married and things like that, we think about it from the aspect of how it makes us feel. And a lot of times you call it selfish, not thinking about it, whatever you want to look at it, but we're not thinking about how the situation impacts the other person. You feel me? So, you know, just like I can say, I want this, I want a person to make me do this, a person going to support me, da-da-da-da. And you can say, well, I'll make them happy. But people always got to understand that everybody comes to the table with bullshit. You got your bullshit, I got my bullshit. Right? But everybody always feel that they bullshit don't stink as bad as your bullshit.
Right.
And it might stink worse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, you know, but people don't like being honest with themselves about what they coming to the table with. Now I had a homegirl, me and her were talking, and I know she got a couple kids, a couple more grandkids, and a couple like nieces and nephews.
Okay.
And you would want a man to go into this situation.
Right.
Deal with all these damn, what that, the lady with the boot, the lady in the shoe with all the kids didn't know what to do.
Was it old Mother Hubbard?
Well, I don't know, but I know she had all the kids in the damn shoe. Shit.
I forget that. I'm kind of old.
Hey, but
that's a long time ago.
Hey, but I tell you what, you be the MF run about that damn shoe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But think about it. Just going in, but I want this, I want that. Like, it's a certain kind of person gonna want to go into a situation where the damn zoo is already set up. Because we know mathematically 1 + 1 = 2.
Right.
Not 1 + 1 = 8. Who the hell kind of math this is? What the hell kind of math is that? 1 + 1 = 8. Oh, these Negroes come from? I thought it was just me and you. We come in, my kids, my grandkids, my niece and nephew, my mama, da-da-da-da. Shit. Hell, man. This.
They done trapped you. They done trapped you with the little prize and been at your house the whole time. Then you come over their house and like, surprise.
Got your ass over there with a toolbox, apron.
Cutting the lawn.
Man, cutting the lawnmower. All this kind of stuff. And then maybe make you have sex. And you got all this shit going on.
Right.
All this shit going on.
Right.
All this you done took on. You know, and this could be what? Male or female.
Right. We not just talking about female.
You done came into this situation. All this stuff is right. Just throwing at you and stuff. I got to deal with. I'm taking on her, the house, the kids, the family, and all this other stuff. And we're finna roll like this happily ever after.
Right.
But then you gonna tell me something happened to your ass. I got to go and they get it. Mother. Now we gotta be real for a second,
right?
Is anybody and anybody? If you guys got any comments or questions, please feel free to tune in.
Right.
You know, so who really is gonna sign off on it?
Nah, maybe in the beginning they may try, but when it comes down to the end, I guess the biggest thing, like for me, if I was to get married to somebody and they had children or something, I would expect them, to be honest, to give their possessions to their children.
If you expect them to do that,
because if they already had it when I came in, you get what I'm saying? Like we didn't purchase it together. I didn't put nothing on. I do nothing. They already had this property. I already blood, sweat, and tears into it, and they had children. I would expect them, because to be honest with you, if it was that many children the problem with family is if you haven't been a part of it from the beginning, like that's not your child, y'all haven't been married for a long time. For me, I think the problem with family is that they're family. So at the end of the day, you always have to expect for them, no matter what goes on, always have to expect for them to take care of each other as family, and you to be on the outside as not necessarily being family. Okay. Regardless if you're married to them or not, if you're the second spouse, they already got another parent or parents. So you always have to expect to be on the outside of things because you wasn't there from the beginning. You get what I'm saying? You coming in after the divorce or after a breakup or whatever, so you're not there from the beginning. And they are family. They have established each other. They're comfortable. They do whatever.
Yeah.
And you gotta expect that. Like even when family get mad at each other, and I don't like that so and so, and I don't care about that. Me generally, I just don't get involved with that because they may get mad at you because you said something about somebody that they were just mad at in their family. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So you should always expect family to take care of family, just in general. Especially if you haven't been there from the beginning.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I totally get you.
Yeah.
But that's how you feel. If you go in, somebody got fat kids, you go into it, right? You just stay. That's how you feel going in.
Right.
Shit, 10 years in, you done put a porch on the house.
But see, if you know that, you got to
build your man cave. Let me finish that. Your man cave.
Right.
You done sat here and did all these renovations.
Right.
All this stuff over the years and stuff like that. Would you still, it's just you and them. Would you still have that same thought process?
I would, because I would say it's like loaning money. Like you say, don't ever loan money out that you can't afford to get back. You get what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna do all those things, I already know going into it that this may not be mine at the end, or whatever may happen. It may not. Who says the person passes away? Let's just say we decide to go our separate ways.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
Got you. But we ain't throwing that caveat in there.
Okay.
We talking about the person that's in it, because when I hear you say that, I think that's not uncommon for somebody to say, well, look, hey, she got kids, she leave with them.
Right.
But all that shit out the window, 5-10 years, and I've been doing all this, I've been this, that, and that.
I agree with what you're saying, but to me, generally, I just don't know why. I just don't expect them to, if they already have children, already have this stuff going on before I came, like, let's just say in the middle of the program, I'm going to expect them to give that property or that house to their child because it's their child. It's just, you know what I'm saying? I really, putting the porch on or doing this or doing that, me personally, I already know what the deal is, so I'm not going to put a porch on anyway. Because I'm going to be limited in because I already have in my mind what's going on. So why would I put a new porch on a house that I know that's probably not going to be mine? Why would I,
because it's
extraordinary things? It could be expected all it wants to be. It's up to me to accept that expectation and take it on.
Well, if you there, we rolling together, lad. And I ain't trying to change your mind.
Right.
If we there, and we living together, and you stand there, it's a leak here, it's a fix there. Well, shit, leave it to the damn person. What's leak? Since you gonna leave Carlos everything. What's the name? The thing good is when your thought process sit there and say, well, what am I gonna do? Right. So I'm gonna get put out.
Right.
Where I gotta go?
But hopefully you will have a relationship with the child or children that they wouldn't want you to do that. They would expect that you would stay. But that's
what's that key word?
Every obstacle is different. Every person is you would hope.
What's that key word?
Right. Hope breeds fear, right?
Hey, boy, that was Jesse Jackson's main word at the campaign.
Well,
keep hope alive.
But at the same time, you would expect. I don't know why. I don't know why people just gotta expect hope for the best and expect the worst. You get what I'm saying? Even if you do certain things to the house or whatever, going in. I mean, you have to know going in that this house is not yours. Number one, you didn't buy it. It's not, your name's not on it. Regardless of what you've done to it.
What you get told, though, lad? What you get told? We come on in.
Well, this
is ours,
right?
Because as a man,
those are just words, though.
But that come on both sides,
right?
Cause for you to let your guard down and move in. Now listen, I ain't trying to justify. I'm just. Right. I'm being devil's advocate on both sides. Right. You know what I'm saying? Carlos was gonna have to have an overseer though.
Yeah, Carlos was a hustler. He would have rented out every room in this house and stayed in the master bedroom and rented out every room as a boarding house or whatever he could do to make money out the house besides to pay the mortgage. He would have did.
Well, and again, I'm not trying to.
You're gonna have to have an overseer on him.
I'm not trying to sway this, but I sat down and the angle that I'm coming at it, it's like nobody thought about that.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, You know, you sit there, and you're looking at it one way. You want a person to come and do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times people got a cool relationship to do it. But I've seen my aunt a couple years ago passed,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a family house, and they made her husband, my uncle was, I guess, gracious enough to give him like 4 months,
Uh-huh.
put him out.
Because she didn't leave the house to him.
It was a family home that they lived in,
Uh-huh.
and a family home that they lived in, and
Well, let me ask you a question real quick.
oh shit, I ain't know everything still burning. Listen to you later.
Did he know that it was a family house? Did he know that it was belonged to the whole family?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I'm not trying to be
I get
mean,
you.
but that's on him.
I get you going into
You
it.
should
and
expect that when you have money and family and they all got to share the pot, you gonna have some arguments and some fighting and whatever, and you should expect, well, as soon as this happens, there's gonna be some BS going on.
Well, to that point, for you to sit there and just say, okay, I'm going to embark on this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to embark on this situation because at the end of the day, we're saying something and being in reality, you know, shit. We're not. I didn't say the kid that couldn't do anything or whatever. We talking about these grown folks got their own stuff. They done moved on this, that, and that, or whatever, and everything, whatever. So we, you know, we're just talking about in essence, would you know, leave it to them or not? When you sit there and just like you said, I go into this situation, I should know better. We all go into situations where we have to let our guard down.
Mm-hmm.
I got to let my guard down, and whoever you kicking with, they gon', you know, both sides. Well, listen, I'm going to trust you to do this. I'm going to trust you to do that. Hey, look, this is what's going on. Because at the end of the day, you know, that's why I said that whole point of we talking about marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have a lot of disclosure going to be gone. You
Right.
know, a lot of that's the thing about it. Like, now I got to know, you hope, you know, that, hey, this person ain't bearing this money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know nothing about it or whatever, this, that, and that. Because that's how you want it to be. Because that's the issue. We might as well just keep on kicking it.
Right.
You feel me?
But even right, you might as well keep on kicking it. But even in that, I don't know. And I've learned from just being married. We've been married, so you have to learn from certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You should expect it's gonna be some secrecy going on. You should expect it's gonna be some BS somewhere eventually in the relationship or during the relationship, because that's just human nature. My mistake with being married was that I was an open book and I believed that person was doing the same.
Is that a
that's
mistake?
necessarily the case.
But is that a mistake?
That is a mistake.
Why is that a
Because
mistake?
human nature is not that way. People have secrets. People do things. Let me tell you something. People are not going to treat you the way that you would treat them. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can't expect you out of other people. So you got to expect certain things.
I go through that now. I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't learn from those mistakes, then I would go into another marriage doing the same thing and then end up in the same way. You
Well,
get what I'm
okay.
saying? So you can't let your drawbridge all the way down. You got to let your drawbridge a halfway down, and then hopefully they can jump up, climb over, and learn some things. But there's just not going to be 100% openness in the relationship. And I don't care who says it, who tells you that, oh, not in my relationship. Nah, you got something that you don't want your spouse to know, and they got something they don't want you to know. It's just the way that it goes, because that's just human nature.
But would you get into a situation knowing that you have things that are not disclosed in you?
And me?
Like you saying, I wouldn't have did this, I wouldn't have did that. But would you go into a situation knowing there are things that that may not be disclosed to you? Not that you know, not that
You necessarily won't know. You just have to expect.
But that ain't what I'm asking you.
Okay.
I'm asking you, would you go in a situation like, man, so what y'all got going on with that? So how y'all handling that? Because at the end of the day, you say, well, that's just family business.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know if family business can come up and mess up y'all business.
Right.
But you would want some kind of disclosure. Now, you don't know about it, you can't control that.
Right.
But would you want to be in a situation, honestly, where you know that these folks got stuff that they're not disclosing to you, and you just,
how would you know, though?
Because you being told, like, that family, what y'all got going on over there?
Yeah.
That family business.
Right.
Right? And I'm going, family business? What the hell is family business?
Then at that point, it's my choice to say,
That's-
ask more questions,
But that's
or
my
leave
point.
it alone.
Would you want to get into that? Because here's the deal. Cause Rick put on there, what makes it a family house? What makes it a family house if it's stated a family house? Cause here's the thing, I want in the
Did
next
grandma leave it to everybody? Cause that's what makes it a family house.
Well, I'm just use myself for example. I got plans in the next 2 or 3 years. I want to buy like a crib in the country, some maybe out of state. Well, that's the family house.
Okay.
All my children got a key. Y'all want to go on vacation, give me some acres, maybe a lake. Y'all want to go there as a group, we go there as a group. All my kids got a key. You know, y'all want to go hunting, fishing, whatever. That's y'all cabin, vacation home. That's what I want to get done in the next 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
That's a what? Family home.
Okay.
Now, my shit I stay with, I get somebody, whatever, this, that, and that, and they take it upon, they say, hey, look, what is what we agree on? Because at the end of the day, if I got mine, you got yours, we got to make some kind of understanding, hey, this, that, and that. And like I said, once we make our understanding, then from that point, it comes down to what? If I agree with it, or if you agree with it, we move forward. But when I hear people say, okay, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, do you really expect people to be able to consciously sign on for something that is not really going to benefit them outside of, a roof over their head? Because we know, like, what, because especially if you already got yours and they got theirs, you don't need it. We be asking who paying for it. But just say I pay for it.
Right.
Just say I pay for it, right? I pay for the crib and in my family home, whatever. Cool. I can say this family home.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you say, okay, cool. Well, look, because I heard things like, that's, leave it to the kids, leave it to the spouse. I heard some people say sell it. A friend of mine, she put on there, she would never move into a man's house. They would either have to sell a house or move in and all that. You like, who want to go through all that?
You want to go through all that?
Yeah, and you just assuming y'all gonna be able to sell and do
buy
all that
another
kind of
house?
stuff. Like, damn, man, and that's what. And I'm gonna say this too. That's why when you're young and get married and you both don't have nothing, it's so much flexible because you're building.
Right.
Once you done got stuff, now it's a whole lot more difficult to sit here and try to somewhat negotiate stuff, because you're always going to kind of look at, okay, what's going to be the best in my interest. But at the end of the day, when you choose to me, unless you just everybody got different arrangements. I'm sorry, but but for the most part, if you're saying that we're going to be married and we're going to, you can't, everything can be just beneficial to you,
right? Or
your vision of what it should be,
right?
And their vision isn't necessarily going to be the same thing, because that's a lot. This is what I'm saying to you, though, and this is why I kind of my thought process. I always try to look at everything from a very open-minded standpoint, because I can sit here and tell you, well, hey, we do that, we'll sell you, I sell mine, you sell yours, move in.
Right.
But they don't want to sell that shit.
Right.
But they want to sell that shit, but they don't really want to rent that shit out either.
Right.
Or I don't want to do this, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because, but you really like her.
Right.
And she really like you.
Right.
How we going to work this out? And those are the kind of things I just think a lot of times people don't really look at past they care and love a person. We start talking about the legal side of it. You know what I'm saying? Because people come to the table, you know what I'm saying, man, look, man, my dad had a stroke. My mama just lost her place and all that kind of stuff. And you kick it with a person like, okay, cool, we're helping this, that, and that. But I ain't really trying to do that, because you might have signed on like, look, shit, man, we both done hit 45, 50 years old.
Right.
Let's travel.
Let's chill.
Let's chill, do all that stuff.
Right.
You might want to sign on to be like changing her dad's diaper.
Right.
Worried about this, worried about that.
But let me ask you a question. If you're in a relationship with a person or married to a person, and true, you don't sign on for those things, but those are facts of life. Those things happen. So as a person in a relationship with somebody you love, that somebody that they love has had an issue, you should expect that you're going to probably have to do certain things to help out. Good. It sounds good, and it should. That's the way it should be, because to me personally, if I was married to somebody else and they had an issue, or their parents had an issue, or whatever the case may be, I would expect that I would have to help that person or have to do something in order to make sure that I'm not doing it for necessarily that person. I'm doing it for the spouse that I'm with, to make sure that she's good and comfortable. You get what I'm saying? No. Because that all trickles down.
I feel you with that. I feel you with that, Lyle. And like you said, just to make the assurances of their being comfortable, but their comfort of taking on that stuff may bring you supreme discomfort.
Right, and I get that. I mean, you think about they may have a parent that can't stand you. You get what I'm saying? Their parent can't hate your guts.
I just got out of that situation.
But they need help.
Yeah.
So what do you do in that situation?
To me, sit him in the corner.
To me, and I hate saying this word because I don't like being the bigger person. I like being little because I'm petty. But to me, you have to just look over them things because, for one, that's that person's parent. For one, so you're not gonna expect, because this is the catch-22. If they treat their parents like crap for you, and say, no, I don't care what you got going on, me and my such and such, then you gonna look at them like, well, damn, that's their parent. If they treat them like that, how they gonna treat me if I get sick? You get what I'm saying?
You
gotta look at them things like that's the person who brought them here. So if they treating them like crap, I ain't got a chance.
Well,
so then you got that going around in your head.
Well, that's one thought. Well, that's one way to look at it. But are they treating them like crap because they can't accommodate certain things? Like treating somebody wrong and not doing certain things. Those two different things. Because that's at the end of the day. If you know you got somebody that's doing their parent wrong, that don't make you not doing your parent wrong because you ain't making certain decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You just made a certain decision. They make. Because a lot of times when you got uncomfortable stuff, because I've been through that.
Right.
I remember that when my grandmother had caught cancer,
mm-hmm.
and even when her mother, my great grandmother, had dementia,
right.
She was just bouncing along people with this, that, and that.
Uh-huh.
And I even see when my grandmother got sick, stay with this person, stay with that person, come stay with us. I think the biggest difference, my great grandmother was pretty much somebody had to take care of my grandmother, somebody take care of her, but my grandmother wanted things a certain way.
Okay.
She wanted to, I want to stay here, I want to stay there, but that wasn't really.
That wasn't feasible.
It wasn't feasible.
Right.
And so when you go through that kind of stuff, like you already got living your life,
mm-hmm.
and then you got to accommodate something. That's a lot of shit to take on.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of shit to take on. Did Donald leave a comment? I just seen the flash on my phone. You might be on the Facebook on something like that. I seen thing where it dawned on there. But
she might just join. I don't see no comment.
I think it was on the Facebook. The alert come in. But the
it may not popped up yet.
People don't necessarily look at stuff like that, like okay, how my thing is gonna impact my people, my family, and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times, really, if you ain't really on top of that, just a strong enough dude, because it's a funky spot.
Right.
Because you could be like, man, I know that's her mama, man, but I ain't signed for this shit. And
you can say it in your head all day long, but you have to pick we always say this, you have to pick your battles wisely. Is that really a battle that you want to go through? Like, really, in the grand scheme of things, relationships and love, is that something that you really going to want to go through?
Is it a battle you want to go through, or is it a lifestyle you want to endure?
Right. And
two whole completely different questions. Because
right.
what you just said, and I can just say this too, just being married. Check me out, follow me with this. Like you say, it's understood that you get married, you're going to have to go through this and do that. But also, it's understood, being realistic, you ain't the same. If you get married young,
mm-hmm.
10 years later, you're a different person.
Right.
10 years after that, you're a different person. So your interest, your exposure, can all that change. So we ain't talking about basic right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about abuse, treating folk wrong, this, that. We're talking about how you see things and how you move.
Right.
Because Lab done started his business, your significant other get his promotion,
mm-hmm.
she done got her degree, she going this way, you going another way. You don't necessarily know, your interest change, her interest change. Mm-hmm. People grow apart. People do this, that, and that.
Right.
And you, like you said, I got into this knowing that, hey, I'm going to support you, this, that, and that, but shit, real is real.
Right.
If you can become boring to me. I can become boring to you.
And that's what happened. I mean, as a person who got married at 18, 17 going on 18, I can attest to that. We were married for a long time, and towards the end of the marriage, the significant other felt like she missed out on something being married so young and having kids. So that person started going back to trying to fill in the gaps, I guess you could say. Whereas me, I'm more, it wasn't meant for me to experience that stuff. Like I just don't. If I missed it because I was married and with children and being responsible, I don't know what I missed.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't out there doing it. We was in college. We was doing all the things that we needed to do to make sure our family was good. So there really was no time to pay attention to the BS, the parties and all that stuff other people going to, because I had stuff to do. So if I missed it, I don't know what I missed because I wasn't there to see it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's common in most men.
Right.
We bust our tails and refine and build ourselves. And by 40s, that's when you kind of everything coming together. Mm-hmm. So a man usually hit by 50, he done kind of got everything
right
together. But that's kind of like you that trek of men.
That's when we got divorced. Like when we first started getting to 40, and to me, I'm 40 now. Like I had in my mind, and I'm gonna be retired with my feet up on the beach at 50. Of course, that all tumbled down, but that's what my mindset was. That's why we were going to get these degrees. That's why we were going to get this. So at the end of the day, when it was time for us to decide what our children was gonna get, we had something to give them. But
and that's not uncommon either, bro.
Right, you get what I'm saying? But that wasn't necessarily her plan. You get what I'm saying? When 40 hit, she started thinking about all the stuff she missed at 21. And I'm thinking to myself, it's kind of late. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of late. You should have been experiencing that stuff at 21 and not married me when you did. So those...
And you don't know, really, to be honest with you, how people going to anticipate stuff and certain things. You don't know that. Mm-hmm. So to the point we're getting with it, let me ask you a question, like, check this out. Like you stated, son, in your perspective, I'm probably damn polar opposite in regards to, like, hey, I go into a situation, it's understood that, hey, this is there. Is it real? Like, just take how you feel about the situation. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I'm doing as well. Do you think the vast majority of people, take yourself out of it,
okay,
do you think the vast majority of people go into situations like that? Okay, I'm with this person, I'm moving in and doing this and stuff. They signing on knowing that, hey, you know, I'm finna sit here and be with this person. Female move in with this guy. You know, she got security. Oh, it's nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got a garden tub.
Right.
We got Netflix. You know, we got all this good stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Knowing that if something happened to him, she gonna have to move because he has children.
Right.
Because like I said again, a friend of mine told me, if something happened to me, because now we go back to the what? Special friend thing. Now we ain't need special friend no more. We actually are spouse.
Right.
So do you think that most people, take yourself out of the equation, do you think that most people should go into a situation or really will sign on for a situation knowing that, hey, with that?
No, I don't think most people do sign on thinking that way because they get suckered in by this is ours. This ours. This ours, baby. You ain't got to worry about that. This ours. And see, let me tell you something. Repetition will change your mind about things. If you say something enough times, you gonna start believing it. Yeah. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people just don't have a contingency plan if that happens. You got to think on you got to just. Is
that realistic?
Yes, it should be.
As hard as life is, to be sitting there trying to build, this my girl or this my boy, we working together, to be, because it takes a degree of concentration and focus and dedication to build together. Is it realistic to do that and knowing that, and also be having a plan B set up to do that? What's that? Somebody, what's Slick guy?
I don't know if that's Slick. It's say Kenny Gaston.
Scroll up, man, because it's like a whole paragraph, you know.
I can tell you what it says. It says, Kenny Gaston, man, you out your damn mind. You said new spouse. My children is my blood and my wife ain't they mama. It's a chain of command, just like a job and government. My children is gone. Figure shit out. Stuff out, or divide the money.
It sounds good.
I don't know who that is because it say Slick, but I don't think that's not her. So
but they saying so what they're saying, give it to the spouse or
give it to the children.
Give it to the children. But see, that's the thing about it. Let's be realistic. Who is going to sign up, for that, knowing, okay, I'm finna sit here and take care of this house, and they do who realistically is going to do that? Lab said, okay, I go into it knowing it. I get it.
Right.
But realistic, because at the end of the day, and correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of that got to do with Lab a man. So he might go into it. But you sitting there saying that, hey, listen, female sitting there like, I ain't finna be.
He said something, whoever this person, I don't know who this person is, because it's not coming up as their name.
I got
But
you.
he said something very, very true. That is my children, and my new wife is not their mother.
Mm-hmm.
That is the family connection I was just telling you about. Family always going to take care of family, and that's the new spouse from being with a person who has children by someone else. You should always know that you're going to be the outsider. There's just no way to break that. You're not their parent. Even though you are living there and you're parenting with this person, you got to know that this person is probably going to be on some BS eventually. Or this person's always thinking, me and my children. I don't know why people don't just, I don't know. And I've learned this over time, so don't get me wrong. I didn't come out to shoot thinking like this.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned from my experiences and just over time, over the 52 years that I've been on this rock, that family is going to take care of family regardless. People are people, and they're going to do what people do. If a person has a mindset, and they've been having this mindset for a very long time, they're setting up that mindset. So you as a person, you have to always protect you. You always have to take care of you. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because if you leave your well-being in other people's hands, they always gonna ball it up and hurt you. You get what I'm saying? They always gonna ball it up, and it may be minute. It may be a big thing to you. It may be a small thing to them. But at the same time, it still bothers you. It still hurts you. So why not protect yourself going in? And I know it sounds crappy, but that's just the state of the world.
Well, I think everybody entitled to feel how they want to feel. Slick said came from Westside Missbook Facebook page.
Okay.
I think everybody entitled to feel how they feel. Mm-hmm. The thing good is, just realistically, who the hell gonna sign on for that?
Right.
Cause and I'm just saying, just being real. I got 4 boys, and I love all my children, but I can kind of look at it kind of like, I learned a lot from my grandparents, and I wasn't mature enough to understand when I was going through it, but I see now, my grandparents left folks insurance money. Mm-hmm. I got the raggedy house off Bankhead.
Right.
That coincidentally now, ain't the raggedy house off Bankhead.
Right.
So now you get folks interested in it because it's worth this, that, and that. But they knew who could deal with this, who could deal with that, or whatever. A lot of times the danger of is with kids, we say we get this and divide it. When you go past 2 people, 2 is hard enough. But you go past 2 people, like we just said it, man, that'll destroy your damn family.
Right. And I know that whoever that was on Facebook, Kitty Gaston, is saying that his kids would figure it out. But his kids almost may just destroy each other. Money, property, anything that increases a person's wealth always brings the devil out. I don't care who it is and what it is. Your grandmama may say, hey, Sarah get 10,000, Mike get 10,000, Janie get 10,000, Greg get 52,000.
Yeah.
Greg getting that 52,000 is gonna make the other 3 have an issue. Well, why Greg get 52,000?
I'm gonna say this with myself. I've had very open discussions, and I'm relatively young, and I think the conversation will evolve over the years, depending on what come and what go. But I be straight up with my kids. Who want this? Who want that? And you know your children. You know who gonna keep this? Who gonna keep that? Or do that?
Right.
But like I said to you, like to my friend that time, well, I feel like I don't want to be labeled a special friend in an obituary. The flip side of it is too, like I said, gay folks just were able to be married within the past 5-10 years. So I say all that to say they've been leaving shit to each other and keeping it moving for years. You don't have to be married to me to be my beneficiary.
Right.
You don't have to be married to me for me to will you and leave you things.
Right.
That person didn't get shit because the person didn't want to leave him shit.
Right.
Real talk, right?
Real talk. Because nobody wants to talk about death. When you 30 years old, you're not talking about dying. Who's talking about that? Even though it's going to happen to us all. That's just one thing we can't avoid. But nobody wants to talk about it. You get what I'm saying?
Well, nobody wants to talk about it, but let me say this to you. I will say that shit run across all our minds with a person.
Right.
So if I'm with you for a certain amount of time, I am thinking, well, shit, me and her kicking it, we were there man, I do want to leave her something. I do this, that, and that. Not you talking. Not okay. People want to bring stuff up, but real talk. If you with somebody, you still like say, okay, look, I want to at least make sure they straight.
Mm-hmm.
It still run across your damn mind if you dealing with somebody. You know, this your main, this, that, and that. This your Nella, and y'all sitting there all day. It done ran across your mind, man, she been with me. We ain't never got married, but I can at least leave her a $10,000 policy.
Right.
I got something for her, right?
Right.
So that shit run across everybody's damn mind.
Right.
So at the end of the day, so I'm just saying, you don't, people so stuck with this, that for my kids is that I think that's a hard sale because in my mind, I can just be transparent with myself. I had a certain amount of, a lot of insurance that my insurance renewed, I think, next year and everything. So y'all know if somebody killed me, it's one of my children come to talk about the money.
Right.
So what I'm saying, my insurance, I got another insurance policy about a year ago, so they kind of overlap because the other one closed. I had a lot of money on one because in that event, they were little, something happened that can cover their tuition, da-da-da-da.
Right.
My ex-wife pay off the house, da-da-da-da. I significantly dropped it because like I told the kids, like, shit, now, hell, y'all grown, real estate there, the knowledge I done gave y'all there.
Right.
You know, shit, y'all your own. I'm not trying to, listen, I'm going to be dead.
Right.
I'm going to give you all the game I got between my ears. You do what you want to do with it.
Right.
I'm not finna try to break my neck, because I learned this in divorce. Man, well, really, you spend so much time trying to do shit for other people and leave this, that, and that. Shit, they just screw it up. How many people have seen those inheritances go up in smoke?
Up in smoke.
Just like it was a damn PPP or a disaster loan.
Right.
If that person is not prepped to keep and handle that shit, it's gone.
Right.
And, man, I'm tell you, a close friend of mine, real close, one of my army buddies, he died back in 2013. And I remember his son was born when we was in the army back in the late 90s when we was in Germany. Brother was 300% focused on his son.
Okay.
Him and his ex-wife, they separated and everything, but he was always doing this, that, and that. And I'm seeing he had accumulated hundreds of thousands of dollars for his son, you know, just a saving account.
Right.
I'm seeing this doing his taxes.
Right.
My man died of was it prostate cancer? One of them cancer, he died young.
Right.
So the money go to the son. They're probably like, I think you probably like about maybe 8th or 9th grade then.
Okay.
Left it, ex-wife got it. They went through that shit in 2 years.
Oh wow.
So my point being, this kid, this didn't happen. Even you sit there and say, I'm gonna have a trust and all this other kind of stuff. And he was a little older than that because he, you know, it was a combination of the ex-wife, which was the young man's caretaker and the young man. They didn't know how to handle that damn money. That shit was huffing and puffing. I just remember even you said, well, you can get it in a trust, you can do this. If your child ain't been prepped to handle that shit, it don't matter.
You just gonna see a bunch of zeros.
Hey, that shit they gonna be like David Copperfield too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know how, you know, you want to leave these things to certain people. That's just like even if you pass and you leave it to your spouse. Well, my grandfather died. Granddaddy died at 97, 98. When I came out of the army, and my grandmother, because, you know, my granddad pretty much took care of everything, they both worked. When I came out of the army, my grandmother, the property tax had been paid like 5 years. So they got all these liens and all this other kind of stuff on the house. Like, hey, grandma, they finna, you know, auction this house. They can't do that shit. It's my house. They can't do that shit. She clueless. Yes, they can.
Right.
So I had to pay all this shit off.
Right.
Paid everything off. You know, no one ain't gonna get this shit back.
Right.
Coincidentally, it's my house now.
Right.
But I paid all this stuff off. This is my grandmama's house. I ain't thinking nothing of it. But just think. And I had, from that point forward, I had to also do what? Pay the property tax. Because this woman is not, that is my shit. They can't take it.
Right.
My grandfather didn't prep her for that. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? With that and stuff like that. But a lot of times, it's just, a lot of us, we can want to leave shit to people. And they ain't ready for it. Because a lot of times you leave them shit that you didn't have during the time you was alive, and they get this windfall of money or get these certain things, they don't know how to keep it anyway.
Right.
Because we talk about a lot of times, people don't have money or have assets or wealth because they make a lot of money. They got a lot of stuff because they know how to keep it.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, it's a lot of people out here making bread, right? It's a lot of people out here making bread, but ain't a lot of people that keep shit. Because like I know, the easy thing to what? Trying around to get, even if it's difficult, to get that car, get that house.
Right.
Difficult part what? Keep that shit.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that we don't necessarily put a big pension on how to keep certain things. Mm-hmm. And like I said, man, I think it's a hard sell to bring somebody in knowing like, look, this is what it is, and that, you're like, even if you tell me, hey, this is what it was, because that was the thing. I had a friend of mine, she was kicking it like, yeah, these my kids. But she, she thinking, hey, I want somebody to help me at this house. Mm-hmm. Well, had them Negroes that,
right,
you gonna leave shit to do that.
Take care of that, right.
No. What's they say? I'm the responsible one in my family. I got insurance on everybody, and that's got to pay for it. And we all know that one. Mm-hmm. This kid to do that kid to do that. Maybe they both can handle this, that, and that. Unfortunately, a lot of us, to your point, we don't have them kind of discussions.
Right.
With our children and our significant other. Mm-hmm. With doing that. But I wanted to have this conversation, really just be getting everybody's, thought process with that, because I do think it's a tough sell. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very tough sell to be stuck in your way of thinking and think another person is going to buy into it.
Right. And that's exactly what I'm saying. You can't expect you out of another person. And my thing is, at some point, if you know this, or you thinking about this and you have a concern with it, you have to take it on to a certain point to where you can then you have to assess and sit back and say, well, do I even want to go on any further with this, or do I need to start doing something to make sure that I'm good? You get what I'm saying? Because if you see it or you know it in your back of your mind that whatever happens, that you probably gonna be the significant, you're gonna be the special friend on the obituary, that you need to start taking care of yourself and doing things to make sure that if this person passes away, if something happens to this person, that you got somewhere to go, and two, that you got your own stuff, so you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I gotta get put out. You should be, to me, and I'm just gonna say to me, you should be preparing yourself for it. It's just a natural, and if it don't happen, okay, cool. But you gotta, sometimes people just gotta think ahead, man. You can't expect people to treat you as you will treat them. You can't expect that if this person has children, they're not gonna leave this stuff and this property, this money to this child.
So you put more of the onus on the person that's going into the situation as the person that's
right. I do, because they have to, because the person going into the situation, I just feel like they should be, the onus should be on them to take care of them. Now, when y'all come together and do y'all think, okay, that's cool, but don't.
What if it's sold to you like that? What if it kind of sold to you like,
I mean, that's just like saying, come on, baby, let's go out. I'm get whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. You softening the blows. You warming that thing up.
Yeah. Let me pull the rub off. I can pull it out.
Right. You warming that thing up. Of course you gonna say that.
My pull-out game strong.
Right. You gonna say whatever you need to do to make sure that at the end of the day you get what you want. So if you want that person to stay with you because they got stability or whatever the case may be, you gonna say what you need. Come on in, baby. This our stuff. That's your couch. This your son. That's, you know what I'm saying? Drive my car. That's our car. You know, any of that stuff.
Until they let you know.
And trust me, if people don't pay attention, they will let you know. They'll get mad at you and say, this my shit. You get what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to those things. I mean,
get the hell out of my house.
It's a sad thing, but you gotta pay attention to it.
Hey man,
this mine. I do what I want to do with mine. Man. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout out to my girl Lovely. That was my girl out back in the '90s. I was living with her together. She might be looking at the show. That was my girl back in the '90s. I was living together in Texas. She pulled that on me. This get out my shit.
Right.
Well, I thought it was ours. She messed it up for the rest of y'all ladies.
Right.
She damn sure threw that at me. That was her shit, and I just knew it was ours.
That's that. This mine, or they say, well, I don't like such and such coming over here. Well, that's mine. I do what I want to do with mine. Whoever want to come over here can come over here when they want to. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, me and my partner having a little damn Madden tournaments and shit. She came home from work today and talking about it's her shit and do this, that, and that, and I thought it was ours. Man, come on, dog, this my crib.
You got
this
sucked
Pooch
in.
house, nigga. Yeah. We sitting on that.
You got to suck it in, see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slick said you got to put stuff in writing. I agree. I do think those things, prenups or if you're married, arrangements. But again, like I say, you know me, life partner for life.
Right.
I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm just, shit. I'm kind of stuck. I may have that one person that wins me around and all that kind of stuff. But you know me, I ain't got no damn problem. Ain't no surprise with Poochie.
Right.
I done went down there. I'm not opposed to marriage. I'm not opposed to marriage. But I'm opposed to sharing my shit.
Right.
Blame it on my ex-wife.
Right.
Blame it on my ex-wife. But I'm just telling you, like, look, man, it is what it is. And with that said, I know that's a major deterrent with a lot of people. But I do think a lot of folks are saying, I think it's easy to say what you would or wouldn't do when you're not going to a situation you protect. Because once you got your crib, you got your car, you got these certain things and stuff like that, you think differently. Because I can say, like, nah, I want to do this. I don't have a boat.
Right.
So I can say, well, nah, I sail the boat.
Right.
Once I got that boat,
it's different.
I might be different.
You like ride on the lake on that boat.
Because I know my son, he really like riding with me. I want to leave it to him.
Right, exactly.
But my old lady, she got some.
She's scared of the water.
Well, no, she got different ideas about what to do with that damn boat.
Right.
She said, okay, these folks want to buy it for double the price now.
Right.
Because it's a collector's item. I'm just saying, those kind of things don't go into it. And I just, a lot of times, when I hear people talk, because that was one of the biggest things when I kept asking people, what about your significant other? It's going to go to my kids. It's going to go to my kids. The blood into it and all the other kind of stuff. Do you really think somebody finna sign on? Because like you saying, Leo, that a person should know better going in that situation. You ought to know getting into this shit that, hey, that's their stuff and them they kids.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we talking about, do you think realistically somebody going to go into that situation knowing you want me to be here taking care of this, and this is a female. You want me to move in, do all this stuff, take care of the house, decorate curtains, whatever. And I know that that eventually this is not gonna get left to me. Ain't nobody do that shit. And
they do it every day, bro.
All the time people do that is when they do it. When they do it. When they ain't got no other damn option.
Well, let me tell you something.
Talk to
people do it all the time. People do it every day. That's why we're having this conversation.
I know, and it's usually the root of it is they just like, shit, this is my option.
Right.
Because at the end, because.
But that's what I'm saying. People should should prepare themselves to be able to get other options. See.
Do it run across your mind when you're in it?
Yeah.
When it's in it, like, hey man, it do.
Me, it does. I don't know. I can't speak for other people, but yeah, it does.
But it didn't run across your mind. It run across your mind now.
It didn't run across
a situation, but
when I married, no, because we was building stuff together.
You doing
know
it
what I'm saying?
together?
We didn't have nothing. We both went to college.
Do you think because y'all were together young, so y'all
right?
built
We
everything?
was young, so we built everything together. So to me, I didn't have that issue then. And you get what I'm saying? Because we were building. I went to college. She went to college. It was more of a team building exercise, I guess you say. We were building together, so we came into it both with nothing, and we were trying to figure out how to get something. You get what I'm saying? So we didn't have anything when we came to it.
But I guess in my mind, just think about this. Even though I don't know, Lab. Just say, that's why I say take yourself out of the mix, and I'm trying to do that even with myself. Just say a person is prepping, to your point, they prepping, like just in case they do this, and I'm gonna make sure I'm straight. But are you still gonna be inclined to do something for this place, knowing it's still gonna go to somebody else?
Yeah.
For real.
You just have to be limited in what you do. It's just
not you, but the vast majority of people.
Yeah, they will.
They will.
Yeah, because I told you, they came in the door hearing, it's ours. Everything here is ours. You get what I'm saying?
No, I ain't saying that, Leia. I know that you're going to leave this house with your children.
Yeah, they'll do it.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
We're going to agree to disagree.
Okay.
I don't think too many sisters are going to be sitting there being a lady of a house to a house that they know.
Do it all the
Hold
time.
on, listen to me, Leia. Be the lady of a house to a house that they know they eventually may part ways with.
They do it every day.
Knowing it, not
Yes.
it happen.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yes, you are. You are.
You know, when
playing devil's advocate.
When we grow this channel, we're gonna revisit this damn
right.
show.
You are playing devil's advocate, and you need to play the human behavior game. And as a person with a bachelor's degree in psychology, I'm telling you, they do it and they will do it. You know why they will do it?
Why they would do it?
Because when they go into it, they know it. But they hoping within the 5, 10, 15 years, they change the scenario.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I can go there.
Okay.
I can do it. You know, I Lick Slick say I agree with Poochie. Thanks, Slick. Hey man, shit. And I done say and did this, and I'll sit there like, I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that. But nobody want to be a special friend.
Right.
And like I said, I'm just saying, like, you know that you're going to do it. Because let me tell you something. I had a homegirl of mine. We were cool. They was after my divorce, man. And, man, I'm telling you, dog, I seen, like you see the yard a certain way, this, that, and that. You kicking it with a chick. You're like, okay, cool, be the man. But I see the big grown-ass son in there. And in her mind, I should help her because she give me some.
Right.
Right. But you got Mr.
That's a commodity.
But you got this blunt expert in the house. I mean, he ended up blowing.
Right.
He knew how to make a dollar sign, a circle with his smoke. Hey, Deonte, look at this. Look at this.
He making duck faces with his smoke.
What the hell? I ain't bother him. You know my son ain't gonna do shit. That's what I got told.
Bro.
But you think I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And the same thing, just if you reverse it, and for a female going to it, I think that's a hard sell. Because at the end of the day, you know, I get what you're saying. You know, like, hey, people feel like they can change somebody, they can do this, all that kind of stuff. And I will get this disclaimer, you know, this is how I feel in my heart of hearts. The only person can change a person is that person and God.
Right.
You feel like you this David Copperfield, you can poof, and make them go to work.
Well,
that ain't gonna happen. Shit. Get a job.
Like you
Wash
said,
your butt. That ain't gonna happen.
She thought she could change, make you cut the grass because of what?
Huh?
She was giving you some.
Man, shit. That's how that works.
Everybody think that giving some or getting some or giving some is gonna change everybody. Oh, he cheap, but he ain't gonna cheat once he get this.
I tell you,
know what I'm saying?
Lovely messed that up. She messed it up.
Right.
I was out at 19 cutting that grass. We're gonna do something after that, right? I got an old freak. Nah, shit. Not me. Not now. Hell no.
But you learned that. That's something you learned. That's a learned behavior, right? You learned that over time. You're like, I ain't gonna do that no more.
But we start talking about an adult.
Right.
You done bounced and knocked and messed up this, that, and that, and went through stuff. Most time you don't have that situation.
Right.
So you should know better.
Right.
I get a disclaimer. Really, a lot of major life mistakes, messed up baby mama, messed up baby daddy, financial stuff, prior to 25 mark.
Right.
By the time you hit 25, especially from a dating,
I say 30.
Nah, we talking about them babies with them kids, 25.
Okay.
You done been through enough hers and heels to kind of make a solid. But a lot of, just say, even we say 30. You done kind of went through it enough. But, to see, okay, make a mature decision on stuff. So even then, man, you sitting there like, I ain't going to do that. But when we start looking at it realistically, brother, like, shit, I ain't signing up for this, it's going to be tough. Because no matter people can say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it, they still looking at it from their perspective. This is what I want. This is my vision of how I want marriage to be.
Right.
And people look at it, nobody can say, well, I'm going to take care of it. Man, how many times, man, I've been with my classmates at different events, the females, I get married, I'm going to do this for my husband. I'm going to sex him, I'm going to cook for him, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Now, my thing is, if it's that good and you can sex him and cook for him, why the baby daddy didn't stay?
Right. Right.
That shit sounds too much like right.
Right.
Baby daddy didn't stay. You sexed and cooked for him. You did all kind of. You might have did a super sex with him, and they still didn't keep
it. Well, how do you know she did that for the baby daddy?
Huh?
How you know she did that for the baby daddy? How you know it wasn't a case of she learned that's what she needs to do for the future person? Because she didn't do it for the baby daddy, but she learned it.
The good guy always get the lesser treated. The baby daddy got the super size. The good guy.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
the good
true.
guy, yeah. Come on,
The good guy who treated right.
The baby daddy got the freak dog.
Right.
Yeah.
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 The baby daddy, the nothing ass nigga get all, get everything.
He
The
got
good
the
guy,
threesomes, the meesomes.
he's too good.
All that stuff. Your square ass ain't getting nothing but
Right.
yeah, straight vanilla. That's it.
Straight vanilla box.
Hey, listen, guys. Hey, man, I've had a blast tonight. We discussed it tonight. Should you leave your home to your kids or your spouse? And I hope with this conversation that we had tonight, even if you check the show out later, you're able to sit down with people and kind of just have this conversation as well. Because, again, the whole thought process we're having this discussion tonight was more so like, I truly believe in my heart, people look at situations from the most advantageous for themselves. Even they say, okay, I'm going to be open-minded and look at it, but they're never going to put themselves in a situation where they ain't always winning. Because here's the deal, Lab. It's very hard being realistic for some way for me not be taking an L in a situation. Because it may be 4 W's, 2 L's, 3 W, 3 L, but we can work it out because I love that person. And everybody want a whole bunch of W's.
Right.
And that ain't how it works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what, the person's income, their looks, family situation, health situation, everything varies. And I think people will look at it, don't necessarily, I don't want to go into all this, want to go into that, and not looking at it like, because like I said, you sit there and talk to a chick, they say, I don't want to do this, but you ain't looking at it like, I got a whole lot of baggage in my damn self.
Right. But
because it's yours, you don't think it's baggage. You just think it's
life.
Your situation.
That's the way it is.
And I just think people don't stop and look for that. Yeah, you look good, but the bullshit I got to deal with that ain't worth it. Right. But because your income, your housing, income, your looks, people don't want to address that. Like, it's still some bullshit.
Right.
That I still got to deal with you.
But that's why I put it back on that person. They need to take the time out and see if they want to deal with that 2 mouth. That's up to them.
It's on the person when you're in it, going into it. But it's also on the person that's looking and wondering why this ain't working, why they ain't working. You need to stop for a second and wonder why the thing that you want and came to you, the thing that you want really ain't desiring that situation.
Right.
So some of the things you might not want, you might need to be a little bit more flexible with. Because I'm going to tell you the word that get out, a lot of people messed up.
Settle.
You're not settling if you're at your speed. If the car only goes max 50 miles an hour, I'm not settling for going 50.
Right.
This shit can't go no faster.
Further. I think, and that word and my type. Those two things right there are the clogs in the drain. My type.
They sell.
Well, what's your type? You know what I'm saying? People always say that. That's my type. I have a friend say her type is a big nigga that can take it at the club. Okay. That's cool. But
if your type is not choosing you,
not even
that is not your type.
With your type.
Yeah, that ain't your type. That's your want.
Right.
That's your desire. Totally different. Listen, man, I done had a blast tonight with my brother and sister. We done had a good time, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. Guys, listen again. Make sure you check out Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden, on YouTube. Been streaming live on all these different platforms, but that is the main hub. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok. Then Change Your Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. You'll see my icon is the little blue man. Go to the channel, subscribe to it. Man, we got a lot of great information. I've been hitting it full throttle. Also go to my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Both of them great platforms. Both of them put a lot of work and dedication. And I do want to tell everybody, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the love and support you guys give me. I work hard, to give you guys good information, and it does a lot for me as well. So, again, take care of yourself. You got this storm coming in. Don't know the impact it's going to have on the metro area. But most important, guys, be safe out there. Love you guys. Check out Mr. Short Dollar next week. Go to both channels, subscribe. Check out the great information. Be safe, and I'll talk with you soon.